I was born searching. Searching in McDonald's, searching in Halloween candy, searching in anything I can get my hands on, searching and defying my mother, searching in cookies and cakes and candies, searching and stealing people's food, searching in popcorn and birthday parties, searching. When I was 11 years old, my parents decided we would take a vacation to Africa, one, to visit my father's mother and his family in Nairobi, and two, so that my mother could return to her homeland of Uganda and show her children where she was born. Kenya was amazing. I loved the smell of the fire, the night air, the way the moon looked different, hanging above the earth, suspended like a silver ball on a pendulum, illuminating the night sky. But there was something that I loved more than everything else, and that was mango pulp. Its sweetness was forever intoxicating, and I never found anything that loved me the way mango pulp loved me. I ended up overdosing one night during that visit at my grandmother's small kitchen table, shoveling spoonfuls of mango pulp in my mouth, looking for Allah everywhere but here. We returned home that summer after the projectile vomiting ended, and I was hungry. And it would be 15 more years before I would find what I was looking for. Being a young Muslim in Stillwater, Oklahoma, meant drinking tap water, answering landlines, Whitney Houston and Peter Gabriel on the same radio station. Why wasn't I born Stacy? Why does my name come from the Quran, a book nobody in Stillwater, Oklahoma reads? Tasneem. The springs in heaven where God sends the righteous to drink. How am I supposed to do that? It was much easier to be Tasmanian devil, which is what they called me, or Taz. I was ashamed of my parents and their strange accents in the house of smells. We had to travel 2 hours to pray every Friday with other smiling Muslims in Oklahoma City. It was just in a room in somebody's house. My father lit the agarbatti for my 7th birthday party, and it just stank up the whole place. And when I moved to New York, I called myself Jungly. When I moved to New York, I called myself Jungly. Hindi for a woman no one wants, who will never get married, who rejects the norm in society, a wild woman, an uncontrollable woman, unruly, undesirable. I was hungry, Jungly. Drinking, drugging, sexing, no sleeping, dinner with Will Smith and Jada, dinner with Brooke Shields, jumping the turnstiles to get to my gig on Saturday Night Live. And after the show, I went home and I was hungry, but not for that New York slice of pizza. Not for being seen or for being heard. I was hungry. On a trip to LA, I stayed at this guy's place in Bel Air who liked to support Indian artists. I was hungry. There was a mosque in Santa Monica, and I knew there would be food after because there's always food. An auction at the end of the prayers for the community, for the food that has been made by the women. I mean, like 3 days worth of food for like $2. Home cooked Indian food. I was hungry. And I just remember that I prayed and I got the food and I took it back to that fridge in Bel Air and I offered it to people who came by and I ate it. From the mosque. I had food from the mosque. There was food from the mosque. Back in New York, all I could think about was the food from the mosque in LA. But you can tell, right? It wasn't the food in the mosque that I wanted. It was, mashallah, it was God's will. It was home. It was that place in the kitchen where people cook and they sip tea. And I remember I came back to LA for good with 3 suitcases and a guitar strapped on my back, and I was sleeping on couches and knowing not what comes next. And I went every day to the mosque and I got food. And I prayed. And this one woman, they call her Happy because she's so happy. She's like 85 and she's still so happy. She just loved on me and she embraced me and she taught me about loving and serving others and what it means to do something for somebody else which I did not know how to do. I did not know how to do. And Happy was the one who called me by my name. She said, "You are Tasneem. You are the springs in heaven where God sends the righteous to drink. And when the righteous go to heaven, they're thirsty, man. You must be there, Tasneem, to give them a tall glass of water." Tasneem. I'm not Tasmanian devil. Not Taz or Tazzy. Not Stacy. Not jungly. Not hungry. I'm Tasneem.